The market is pulling back right now, but I have found something really, really bullish despite this downward spiral that we are in right now. If you want to know what I'm talking about for Bitcoin, then make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell. And I will talk about a lot of altcoins today. So I'm going to keep it brief for Bitcoin, but stay around for the altcoins with really, really good entries that we get here potentially. Now, let me get into it. Let's start off with Bitcoin. So first of all, I did not have a look what happened with the ETF flows yesterday. So let's update that. They were actually positive, but crazy that nobody bought besides BITB and everybody else didn't. So I'm really surprised that there was no selling, no buying. If I had to make a guess, I'm sure actually it depends on clients. So maybe because these are institutional grade products, the institutional players understand the Bitcoin halving, the cycles that we have. So I guess they're quite informed. And maybe they just sit right now on the sidelines in that lull that we normally have after the halving and just sit this out before they ramp on again their buying into the ETF shares, which would make a lot of sense to me. So now when we go to the weekly chart, Bitcoin is right now here at $61,000. There's no denying it. We are breaking into this massive support zone. So here the only interesting thing for me to watch right now is that we are holding this and not breaking under $59,600 approximately. I don't want to see a second retest of the 20 moving average, but we cannot rule this out right now. So with the Bitcoin price moving the way it does right here, I would not rule out that we potentially get close to this point and get from there another reversal back to the upside. And remember, if we lose this support area that we're trading in right now from roughly 60,000 to 62,300, we fall in the next trading range with that big fair value gap down here and start trading here in this range from 52 to $60,000 approximately. Again, we are not far away from a bullish crossover here on the stochastic RSI, but something else I wanted to tell you was that psychologically a lot of things are happening here that a lot of unexperienced traders are not paying attention to, because there is a carrot held in front of you all the time with higher prices, but we keep going down, but the carrot is not going away. And I'm going to show you here in a moment what I actually mean by that. So make sure to not miss that. So here on the daily chart, we see that, actually, let me make this here also a different color. So here on the daily chart, again, we are still in this flag formation. We are getting closer to the bottom of it. I would expect that we get a bounce basically from where we bounced already, 60,600. That is a key area to hold. If we are losing this, get ready that we most likely touch the bottom of the flag at $58,300, and from there see then a massive move back to the upside. Otherwise, if we can break above this downward sloping trend line, which is holding us down here still, even with that fake out here, if we break now again above it, I think that will be the trustworthy break where we then continue to move to the upside. Here, the really bullish thing that I found here today is that overall volume is declining while Bitcoin is gradually grinding to the downside. But while the volume is going down, we don't see insane swings here within that pattern, which is a good sign. And by swings, I mean swings outside the pattern to the downside or massive swings to the upside. So, and every time when we have declining volume, at some point we get a volume spike and break this downwards trend that we are seeing right now on the trading volume. So now the only problem with that is you never know, is that a move to the downside or to the upside, even though a lot of things would favor a move to the upside here right now. When we're going then into the lower time frames and go to this 4-hourly chart here with our imbalance, multiple imbalances that we are seeing here, then you see right now that we started filling the one that I was talking yesterday about, but still $59,700 would be the final target to fill this completely. But we could have here a scenario with the price action that we saw already up here, where we also only partially filled this imbalance, and now see the same to the downside, you know. So it's kind of the same fillage that we see on both sides right now. If we lose 60,600, we will go down and at least fill this and potentially step also into this bigger long-term support below, just to basically stop everybody out, you know, because there's a lot of stop losses down here and also some liquidation prices, and it would make a lot of sense just to wick down here, grab liquidity, and send it then back to the upside. So I want you to be prepared for that if that is going to happen. On the other side, let's say that Bitcoin potentially bottomed out now here at $60,600 and is going back at least to like 63, 64, then I believe that the worst is over from this whole correction that we had, and we actually put in then the right shoulder that we were waiting for our inverse head and shoulders pattern here. When we're looking at the indicators printing here already a clear picture, and that is that the selling pressure is fading away. You see this on the MACD with the lighter red candles popping up here from time to time, and also the RSI more or less stopped its downtrend already, because you see here kind of like decurving back to the upside slowly. It's slow, but you can see it, you know, with an experienced eye. So it's coming, and also the MACD is flatlining here for quite a while in this downtrend, and this is normally also followed by a massive move to the upside at some point, because we can only go down for so long until we get a reaction with an explosive move to the upside. And remember, the longer the Bitcoin price gets suppressed and moved to the downside, the more volatile the break to the upside will be. When we're looking here at this 4-hourly chart, then the falling wedge pattern is still in play, but here we need to get a break in the next 4 hours-ish. If we are not getting this, then also get here ready to get a move to the downside. So how you can play this if you want to short this, again, personally, I'm not interested to short in a bull market, but if you wanted to, I would potentially wait for a break of here $60,500 with a 5 to 15 minute close, because trust me, this move will be quick to the downside. So you don't want to wait on high time frame confirmations for that. Here, $60,500, and the target would be the support zone down here, $58,900. So this is a small move, but with high leverage, it can be highly profitable. So this is a 2 to 3% move. So here I would actually trade with something like 30x, you know, so 30x is a 60 to almost 100% move to the downside if you want to scalp trade that kind of move. Like I said, I'm not interested personally in a move to trade something like this, but you can if you want to. The upside is way more favorable because here we are talking about 3-4% move to the upside, even more. So here 6.15% move to the upside. $65,200 would be the target of this falling wedge if we would get a breakout in the next 4 hours. On this chart, the downward sloping trend line is technically still not confirmed broken again to the downside to characterize this as a fake out, but we are basically holding on a thread here. Again, here the next 4-hourly candle has to distinctively move away from this line to hold this as support. If not, and we are starting to go down here, most likely we are going then sub $60,000 to test these levels here one more time before we see a move back to the upside. Now liquidation levels. Here we are starting to break into this support area that I was talking about earlier. Here that goes all the way down to $59,000. If we see price moving into this, we're gonna liquidate all over leveraged longs that were basically round tripping their profits now. There are of course some new ones that are coming in every now and then, but again, a move to the upside at any given moment is still the favored outcome here at any given moment, you know. So it can still take a little bit of time. I'm gonna show you why. Here on the 12-hourly chart, the stochastic can still go down for another 24 hours. But also then we should see a move back to the upside by tomorrow, you know. So you see also the RSI is already going sideways and ticking up a little bit, you know. So you can see that here, tinkering a little bit to the upside. So that's also an indication that most of the selling pressure is most likely already gone, which does not mean that we will not get one last flush, you know. So I want you to be aware of that. But again, the majority of liquidity is sitting here above us. And this is what I meant with holding a carrot in front of you, you know, and make you run in the treadmill and not giving it to you. Because that's what everybody does, you know. Everybody sees all this liquidity here and starts longing from here, from there, you know, from here, all the way down, you know, and is waiting. Oh, we're going to get the move. Yeah, but now we're going to get the move to the upside. Everybody's waiting for it. That's the carrot that they hold in front of you. But what they actually do is they drive it lower and lower and lower. So, and take all the liquidity then out on the way down, you know. So, and then at some point when you start to give up, you know, when you are like, yeah, screw that, you know, it's not happening, then they're reversing it and sending it to the upside and blasting through all these levels. So, yeah, be aware of it, you know. So, but watch also what's happening here, you know. So your first big sign that we get a reversal is either in the next 24 hours when the stochastic on the 12-hourly is bottoming out, or when you see on the 1-hourly or 4-hourly chart a bullish divergence, which did not happen just yet. When we're looking at the liquidation heat map, then also here we see more and more hot areas appearing on the 24-hour chart, again, which should normally be a sign that we get a short squeeze here really soon, at least back to like almost $64,000. But to the downside, there are still some hot areas around the $60,000 areas that could be touched before we see that move to the upside. When we go to the higher time frames, like the monthly, things look way different, you know. So we can, like I said, we could eat down to like $59,800, but I guess from there we are definitely reversing back to the upside. I think on 3 month there's also only still the $52,000. Yeah, only this level down here. Like I said, I don't believe that we are now moving down, liquidating everything down here and then see a move up. It looks more like it that around the $60,000 level will be some fighting for that level. And then we finally gonna see a move back to the upside. Guys, don't forget, if you want to trade in this volatile market, and especially altcoins that are gonna give you right now, do this on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 if you sign up there, or do it on Margex if you want to trade without KYC. And if you are in the UK or in the US, then I can highly recommend you BITGET or Phemex. On Phemex, you still get $9,000 in deposit bonuses, or on FAIRDESK, there you can actually copy trade me with the highest bonus in the industry, $120,000. All these links are in the pinned comment below or in the description of this video, so just go below. I would appreciate if you use them because you're going to support the channel with that. So now, here's something else really interesting before we go into the altcoins on the USDT dominance. The dominance is retesting the 5% level right now. We don't want to get a break of that level to the upside, because then we most likely going to see a move under $60,000. So we want that this candle stays as a doji candle, and then tomorrow's candle a rejection to the downside, a massive one. I want to see a massive rejection and then the following day continuation, so that we come under 4.72% and continue the downwards trend, because that will then basically signal that also the worst is over and the selling actually stopped. When we're going then to the total market cap here, also for the weekly chart, I would like to see to hold the $2.2 trillion level. This support level turned now into resistance, unfortunately, for the time being. This can still turn around over the next couple of days, but I would not bet on it. In the best case scenario, we'll come back to like $2.3 trillion. And next week, we want to get a proper break of this downward sloping trend line. If not, and we keep going down, I think the worst case scenario would be $2.5 trillion. And from there, we're definitely going to get a bounce back to the upside in direction of $2.5, $2.6 trillion over the next coming weeks. Only want to touch briefly on Ethereum. Here, this falling wedge pattern, same thing like with Bitcoin. We need to get a break out of it in the next 4 hours. If not, then we're basically moving sideways out, which is never a good sign, which could lead to continuation to the downside before we get a move back to the upside here. The point of control is at $3,075 on the VPVR. That is the key resistance to overcome here right now. And then, of course, also a break here of $3,150 before we can see any continuation. Here on the daily chart, things look a little bit healthier because the stochastic tries to turn around here already. The RSI is also pointing to the upside, only small selling candles on the MACD, which is telling me that this might be our bottom candle here, that doji, and by tomorrow we get a break to the upside. But don't jump too early here the gun. I believe we're going to get stopped at the $3,200 level because of the EMA ribbon and the aligning resistance area that we are seeing here. Solana, just bounced off our first buy zone. So if you had here some order stacked, you should be filled. Otherwise, the second buy zone is still good to buy, in my opinion. Here, the 4-hourly has bottomed out, from what I can see, and the targets remain as they, as you see them here, at 155 and 170, and then $200. Another coin that I'm watching right now is Pendle. On this 4-hourly chart, it looks like that we are getting ready for a move back to the upside. Anything in this area here is for me a good buy, from $4.45 to $4.62, and then the major confirmation will come in when we break this downward sloping trend line. So here, just see this is coming all the way from here. This is also a bump and run pattern. So if you want to play it really safe, then wait for a break above that trend line, get the throw back. So you would get in at 470, 465, and then we're going to get a run to at least $7 and actually higher if that bump and run pattern would be playing out. And now here on this 4-hourly chart, you also see basically the same area. I had drawn it in here, and here the higher time frame target would be almost $11. Another coin that's holding up quite strongly in this downwards move is Telegram, a ton. I'm in a position here right now. I'm like 1% underwater, so I can live with that. If you're looking for an entry, wait for a potential retest of like $5.84 or $5.72. If we don't get this and we start breaking higher, the Monday high will be the next level for an entry, but only with a 30-minute close above $6.20. Then Fetch is at a good entry level right now. Here also we see the MACD turning around, the stochastic RSI turning around. The RSI is flatlining, so also good signs that this is a bottoming candle on this 12-hourly chart, and the next one will actually pump back to the upside. Here I could definitely imagine that we pump back to $2.42. This $2.16, $2.17-ish level would be a good starting point to scale into your position. If we go lower, scale down all the way to $1.84. So measure your position size accordingly, that you have enough dry powder to scale all the way down until $1.84. Even though right now I'm not really seeing that we are hitting this level, but just make sure, if we start breaking higher and we start breaking above $2.28, there you can add then another part to that position on the way up to $2.80, potentially $3. Here, Ondo is following our plan nicely right now. Here at 77 cents, as I said before, is the level where you want to add to for the next leg to potentially $1 here in the midterm. So here I'm on spot, definitely buying Ondo and trade this to $1. Then the next coin that's kind of strong is ICP. ICP on the daily chart is also about to bottom out. So we could potentially wait until tomorrow if you want to play it safe, to see what's happening tomorrow. And closer to the daily close tomorrow, you can then decide to enter this. But here I definitely going to wait for a break of this downward sloping trend line before entering. ICP, I want to see a break and one daily candle close above that trend line. At the very least, a 4-hourly candle close before I'm going to enter this. The target still remains here of $20 in the mid to long term. Here, Filecoin also is in the buy zone right now. I would consider buying this because we're going sideways for quite a while here for over a day right now. Also, the indicators are showing that the momentum is to the upside. First take profit, if you enter here, would be at $6.32, and then the next one at $70.60. Another coin holding strong, as you can see, is Near's broke out already here out of this falling wedge. If you see Near still under $7.33 when you watch this video, I would still buy this, and the imminent target would be $8.10 approximately. I would trade this with leverage like 5 to 10x because that is not a really big move here. This is just, like an 10.5% move. So if you trade this with 10x leverage, you could still make over 100% on that move. Another coin that's really strong here is RNDR. Like I said the other day, I exited at $10.55, which was not the worst idea. I could have traded it a little bit higher, another 5%, but I was happy with what I'm getting. So now this resistance area becomes your buy area. So I would buy it here from $10.30 to like $10.60 approximately. And then my next take profit would be all the way up here in this area from $13.35 to $13.63. That would be the next area of interest where I would like to take profits. And that's it already for today's episode, guys. Sorry that I had to rush through the altcoins a little bit, but I have to go to another call that I'm already a couple minutes late. But thank you for watching. Don't forget, smash out the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again, hopefully with some profits tomorrow.